Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, inshallah. And, today we are giving some basics and foundations of some servers and storage and backup solution. It's essential, topics for every system and system administrator or virtualization admin. Okay. First of all, what's the server types? Server types, we have rack mounted server, we have blade server, and we have tower server. As we know, all vendors or the most popular vendor for server hardware, number one HPE, Hewlett Packard Enterprise, Dell, IBM, Cisco, and Lenovo. For rack-mounted server in HPE, we have HPE DL380, Gen 8, Gen 9, Gen 10, Gen 7. Okay, the server coming in 2U rack unit, and we have also Blade server HPE BL460 C split server, and we have Cisco UCS Unified Communication Computing System C220M6. This is the latest version of Cisco UCS rack mounted server. It's a one rack unit. Okay. And then we have the Blade server. The Blade server, we have Dell Blade server, and we have HPE Blade server. Okay, we have Blade server like DLM640, and we have Cisco Blade system P series 200M6. For tower server, we have HPE ML350 and Dell T440. Okay, I think all of you know about mostly or dealt with this server hardware. Okay, next. For server inside, from inside server, each server has CPU, have RAM, have hard disk, we have different CPU types. You have AMD, Intel architect, we have 64-bit or 32-bit architect. We have server having two CPU and other server have four CPU or two CPU socket. Okay. Okay, the socket from the socket itself, we have cores. For example, we have 10 core socket, 20 core socket, 28 socket core. Okay, as you know, the socket or the core very important for virtualization administrator. As you know, we will deploy some virtual machine. Each virtual machine have some need some virtual CPU. Okay, another topic regarding server inside, we have RAM, random access memory, we have DDR3, DDR4. Okay, we have them, how you allocate the memory in the server. Each server has some specification. If you open the server rear view on the cover of the server, you will find the memory allocation. Okay, for the hard disk, we have SATA, we have SAS. This tier 0, it's a low performance hard disk. It's cheap, comparing to SSD or NVMe is tier 1. Its SSD is very high speed IO. Okay, as you know, the different type of server, the different type of hard disk, we have SFF saying, small form factor and long form factor. We have M2. We as we know, as we all know, you must know the IO speed, input output for the read write speed on the hard disk. Okay, also additional topics, we have red level, we have red 0, red 1, red 5, red 6, red 10, red 0 plus 1, and red 50. Okay, each red level have some specification or some features like high read, high write, or read write, high speed read and write. Okay, and so on. Okay, mostly of us, when we use HB rack mounts for or configure RAID 5, for example, if we have multi hard disk or if you have two hard disk, basically you cannot configure RAID 5. You can only configure RAID 1. it's mirroring. So we have half capacity of the two hard disk, and we have redundant. We have one redundant disk. If one disk fail, your data will not be lost. Okay. We have here also some URL. From HPE, you can configure your memory, and if you open this URL, you can configure your memory based on your server model from HPE. Also, another link is SD hard disk selector. You can recommendation how you select your hard disk, SSD hard disk model. Okay. After that, we are going to talk about some, these topics or this general information and the basics for every system administrator. As I said before, we have convergent infrastructure, we have a hyper convergent infrastructure, we have destructive hyper-converged infrastructures. Okay, for the converged infrastructure, we have HVECS, DL580, okay, Gen 8, Gen 9, Gen 10. We have Dell EMC VBlocks. VBlocks, in the converged infrastructure, we have all components together, compute, storage, and networking. Same also in HCI, but what's the difference between HCI and CI? The difference is HCI is software defined or having the software defined layer. Maybe it will be VMware or maybe Red Hat virtualization or any cloud solution, OpenStack, for example, based on HCI, you have Dell VxRail, HPE SimpliVity, Nutanix. We have DHCI disruptive. HCI is new technology from HPE coming in late 2019 and start implementation in 2020. HPE nimble storage it coming in compute and storage nodes separately. For example, if you have solution in Dell or SimpliVity or Nutanix, when you buy the node, you buy all together storage, compute, and networking one box. But in the DHCI, for example, if you have in your environment very high uh, in your environment, if you have two nodes, for example, and you don't have any virtual CPU, what you will do, you will buy new node including storage and compute. But in DHCI, you can buy compute only or storage only, and you can scale up or scale out depending on your business grow. As business grow, as you can add storage node or compute node. Okay. Any question, please? Thank you. Storage type, we have NAS, DAS, SAN. For DAS, direct attached storage, the hard disk inside your computer, the hard disk inside your server. Configure with smart array controller or RAID controller. For example, in HPE, we have HPE Array Smart, HPE Smart Storage Array P480 and P816i. Okay, this is all smart arrays. It's based on that technology. It's very high speed. Okay, we have another technology or storage of NAS, network attached storage. For example, we have free NAS. It's open source. We have HPE Store Once. We have HPE Store Once. We have HPE VSA virtual security appliance. We have Dell EMC. Unity, we have Dell data duplication, data domain appliance also. For the SAN, for the enterprise storage, mostly enterprise company use the SAN technologies. Storage area network. What's the requirement for this? We have two, for example, two SAN switches, storage array. Storage array, we have many multi-vendor like HPE 3 bar, Dell EMC VMAX, HPE Nimble Storage, you have the EMC Isoron and so on there, and the NetApp also. If you work in another technology or another company, okay, this basic information you have to know before you start the virtualization course. Okay, we have storage type, we have file level storage and block level storage and object storage. For the file level storage, we have Windows share, Linux share, NFS or Samba or NFS CIFS. Okay, this NAS technology based on NAS technology. The block storage is based on the SAN technology. We have it working with the SCSI commands. For example, the LAN storage LANs that you present from storage array to the server, from the storage controller to the server, okay, through LAN masking, okay, and you have to know also the zoning between the SAN switches and the storage and servers. We have two different type of soft zoning or hard zoning, okay. Another storage type we have object storage based on SAF. For example, SAF storage S3 Amazon S3 packet. We have Lustre parallel distributed file system. All this based on object storage technologies. Okay, the backup solution, as all of us know, for the data center administrator or virtualization administrator or data center administrator, we have backup solution. We have many backup vendors, for example, Veeam, Commvault, Data Protector, Veritas, Networker, Avamar. Okay, it's depending on you on what you need in environment. You can back up your physical server, your virtual machine, your database, your enterprise application like IaaS. For example, if you have Office 365, you can back up. Okay, there is many different comparison here. You have endpoint backup, mobile endpoint. For example, you can back up your phone or your tablet or your endpoint device. Okay, for the cloud, we have here rubric and Acronis cyber protection for backup. Okay, what this very critical topics for the backup types. You have full backup, incremental, reverse incremental, and differential and mirror. Each type of this backup has some features and some drawbacks. For example, if you have full backup, you will back up all your data, all your virtual machines. The backup time is slowest, but the restore time is fast. But the disadvantage here, taking too much storage. Okay, incremental backup, taking lowest storage, the store time, the restoration time is moderate, and the backup time is fast. Okay, we have here differential backup. All data since the last full moderate, but the storage usage is moderate. Okay, we have something called delta backup. The delta backup is the backup of your database from the last successful backup. Okay, backup types, virtual machine backup types. We have full snapshot, checkpoint, clone. In the VMware environment or vSphere environment, we can take snapshot for the virtual machine, but it's recommended to not take snapshot more than 3 days. Okay, for example, in Hyper-V, we can the technology term in snapshot in Hyper-V is called checkpoint. We have clone of the virtual machine. You can take full clone of the virtual machine. If you have, for example, test environment, you need to clone more, or you can create a template to create more VM from templates. You have for the backup, it's very important to know the KPIs. It's KPIs, key performance indicator for backup. We have time to recover and the recovery point objectives is very important topics. Okay, there is a golden backup rule. 01132 means you have three maintain three backup copy of your data to store the backup on two different media. One is store at least one backup copies at offsite location. One is store at least one of the copies offline. Zero means you be sure to have verified backup without errors. Okay, it's a danger to consider a snapshot of virtual machine to be a backup. Do not use single snapshot more than 24 to 72 hours. Thank you for viewing.
Thank you for viewing.
خلاص سجلنا.